Brooks is on board to accept change where needed to improve our city. I fear that I've mentioned this before, and I know I'm sure this wasn't the case, but that it's really become a grudge match on who is going to win this political fight, and I don't think it should be that way. My read of the room when we had the public hearing at the community center was that the folks were supportive of this. They heard from the experts, they made a decision based on that, felt like it was in the best interest of our city. Obviously a vote wasn't taken there, but now that those people aren't with us anymore, we're in this situation where people are being critical. So again, to restate, the experts say it's the safest thing to do. It embraces change. It doesn't make our timeline longer. We don't waste the money that we've already invested in it. And it makes us embrace change. And those are my comments. Thank you for allowing me to get those out.
Thank you, Steve. John?
Well, I'll go back to the meetings that we had for livable military communities. The people were crystal clear then. They didn't want roundabouts. They wanted roundabouts less than they want apartments. Yes, people said they wanted change, but the change they said they wanted businesses to come here and invest in our city and help pay the taxes. This roundabout does nothing for the businesses. In Kessler's own words, roundabouts don't work in high traffic areas, yet he's proposed one on 183 and proposed one on Roberts Cutoff. Luckily somebody else came in and got the one off Roberts Cutoff. I've been driving roundabouts since the 70s. When I did horses, when I've done my race cars, when I've worked where I have to drive one, where I used to have to drive one every day for 20-something years, all you see is debris around them. I've not one time even been near a wreck at 183 in Camp Bowie, but boy, I've been there having wrecks on the Benbrook traffic circle. If you look at the real picture of the roundabout, it's got a footing around it that doesn't show in the picture. The people coming up Yale are not going to slow down to 5 miles an hour like it's been stated. All they got to do is a few feet jog, and the people coming, not from Yale, up meandering, the people coming up Yale, yes, they will have to slow down, but they're also not going very fast anyway because they're coming from a stop sign. We put 9 stop signs on Yale and lowered the speed limit to try to get people to stay off Yale. We didn't want to increase the traffic flow. They were showing flow patterns. We don't want Yale to become the cut-through, and the same experts that he's quoting said the area down in the Fort Worth section of that, the population wasn't going to increase for the next 20 years, yet now we found out there's about 75 new houses. So that's 150 cars. If they only go to work and home, that's 300 cars increase a day. So, what experts do I listen to? So, that being said, I'm not for it. I'd rather have a light. I'd rather fight for a light, but I'm not for the roundabout.
Yoli?
Well, with everything, I'm having to play catch-up, as y'all know, because I wasn't here when all of this happened in 2019. So, with everything that's being said, everything that's being said, things are being changed. Some of the families haven't even been talked to. I understand there's a language barrier. There was somebody said that they were all for it when there wasn't. I think there's only one now that's for it. So, I honestly, without having the right data and the right numbers, I can't do the roundabout. I can't.
Dan?
We've had many meetings on this road. A lot of times people have had their opportunities to weigh in. People have talked one way or the other how they feel about it from the start, about the size and the shapes of it. COG has put on, I don't know how many public hearings on this thing. People had a chance to speak about it. it came before this body in 2019 for a decision. They needed a path as to which way they're gonna go. The council voted on this thing on August 13th, 2019, to give them the go-ahead to do what we had voted to do, to give them a clear choice of how to complete the design of this road. They've done it up to now up to 90%, and to say now that we're gonna change things, to me, is totally irresponsible. I get back to the safety part of it. It's still, from what I understand, still the roundabout is still the safest way to go, and my decision has not changed one bit, and I'm for the roundabout. Of everything that we have to go with, of the options that we've been presented with, to me, that's the best and safest option, and I'll stick with it.
Okay, and, my comments, safety was mentioned 3 years ago. It was basically stated that it was safer for cars, but it was also stated that it was not necessarily safer for pedestrians, particularly children. I think that how people cross at a roundabout is not necessarily something that they're going to understand as well. I also don't think it's as safe for the four neighbors. Now, granted, I get that different roundabouts a different right-of-way is going to be taken, and it might be closer in some ways, but at least those cars are not aimed at the houses. As far as, change, we're going to wind up with a beautiful road, no matter what. Nobody's saying leave meandering like it is. We're going to wind up with a brand new light at Roberts Cutoff and meandering. We're going to wind up with a brand new roundabout on the other end of this that replaces that mess down there by Gilbo. And I just think that ultimately we said even 3 years ago, as we got towards that 90%, that we would take input and we would process that input. We have the opportunity to process that input. And so ultimately, I don't think it's about creating losers or winners as far as people on that corner go. I think that they are important, and I think just basically saying, well, it's progress for the city and it looks nice because people think roundabouts look nice, and if you get stuck with it, too bad. I don't agree with that. So ultimately, I think you know where I stand, so if council's ready for a motion, I take a motion.
Make a motion to deny the request.
Second.
To be clear, you are denying, the motion is to deny repealing the resolution as adopted and changing the city's support of the mini roundabout. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny resolution number 1074 to repeal resolution 976-2019 as adopted on August 13th, 2019. Do we have any further discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
It's 2-2. I will vote nay. Motion fails 3-2. Do we have any alternative motions?
We'll need to, on section 3, if it's a four-way stop, I'll need to make that change before you sign it. But what's in there is a
There's no
four-way.
motion made, Marlon.
Sir?
There's no motion made.
Oh.
He knows that. Do we have an alternative motion?
I'll let you make it.
Is it a four-way stop? I make a motion that we proceed with the four-way stop at Meandering and Yale.
Second. So that motion is to approve resolution 1074-2022, repealing resolution 976-2019 by changing the city's support of the mini roundabout proposal to supporting a four-way stop. Is that correct?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Hey.